Welcome back. You are about to learn the Personal Mastery Power Grid. And I mentioned this first model is really about true power versus fake power. You're going to learn, first of all, what society defines as power. Things like money, things like items or possessions. And society says, well, if you get those things, you're going to be powerful. But people who are operating at the highest level of humanity, people who are living amazing lives, they have a whole different series of powers that they measure their success by. So I'm super excited you're about to learn them. I call this the Personal Mastery Power Grid. It's a new model, never shared it before. Here's the thing. There's two types of power. There's the power that society calls power. Give me some answer. What would you think? In our world right now, how does the media, how does society, how do our friends and family, how is power defined? Money. Mostly it's money. Look at her. Look at him. She's got a lot of money. And if you have been hypnotized by that programming, you are measuring your self-worth by your net worth. What are some other ways society defines power? Beauty. What else? Position. Carlin. Hi. Yeah, tell me. Material things. Look at her new car. Look at his new handbag. Look at those shoes. Look at that Patek Philippe watch. They're eating in the best restaurants. They're vacationing in Luxembourg, wherever it is. And we live very much in a world that I believe is selling us a bill of goods about what it means to be powerful. Now, I want to be super clear here. Is there anything wrong with staying at beautiful hotels? Is there anything wrong with eating the best food? Anything wrong with a beautiful watch? No, those are fantastic. Enjoy the ride. I mean, who would rather stay in a gorgeous hotel room or fly beautifully versus, rough it, whatever? How many people just like to go through life feeling better? I'm an aesthete. Aesthete, the French word for lover of beauty. I love sunsets. I love mountain biking in the forest. I love great mozzarella di bufala. I like nice spaces. I like nice art galleries. I like nice things. Here's the key. Do I need those things? Absolutely not. I'd be okay in a little apartment with a little mountain bike and my loved ones around me. I'm not saying that to impress you. It took me years to get to a place. If I have nothing except for a few little things, I'm totally good with that. If I lost who I was in the world, it's okay because I know who I am in my heart. But I'm suggesting to you, enjoy the beauty of life, and life has a lot of great beauty. But here's what I think has happened. We've picked up a lot of these fake powers, and then we define ourselves by these fake powers. The first one, formal authority. He's the CEO, she's the boss, he's the prime minister, that's the president, that person is powerful. Show of hands, yes? Secondly, money. I'd rather have impact over income, but we live in a world that says you are powerful if you have a lot of money. And I'm encouraging you to remember, do not define yourself or measure yourself by these external things. The third, safety and security. The most dangerous place you can work and live is in the safe harbor of the known. Security is ridiculously overrated. What's this attraction to security? I'm secure, I'm safe. right? We know Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, fine. You want a roof over your head and you want food in your belly. You can't change the world if you're hungry. Got it. But what is this attraction to security? This is the way I've always done it. Here's the same neighborhood I live in. Here's the same way I rock my game. Here are the same books I read. Security. Boring. Your brain will not grow. You will not stimulate neurogenesis if you do not inject novelty into your game. Novelty. Forget security. Forget safety. Live dangerously. Look at the person next to you and go, yeah, I'm going to rock my inner pirate. Just do that for me, please. You know, how many people have lost their swashbuckling nature? You know, how many people have lost the sparkle in your eye? Just look at the person next to you and check if anyone's home. And what I want you to do is just touch their shoulders and say, I love the sparkle in your eye. Don't ever lose it. Just do that for me. And so it's a fake power. I'm secure, I'm safe. What an illusion. What an illusion. No one's really safe. No one's really secure. You could lose it all tomorrow. You could go to your doctor's office and the doctor could say, we don't have some good news for you. You could experience sudden loss. How many people, you woke up one morning, you went out into the world, and what happened to you that day was utter tragedy and completely turned your life upside down. Put up your hands, please. Just look around the room. That's life. That's life. Sudden loss, not sudden loss, illness, bankruptcy, accident. Safety and security are dramatically overrated. So my suggestion to you is get good at being a pirate. Get good at being in the blue ocean. Get good. Do the interior work born of personal mastery required so that when you are terrified, you're okay with it. Because you will never be able to control the world and construct a fake architecture so that your environment doesn't activate your fears. Does that make any sense what I just said? That's what most people do. I've got all of this fear inside me. I've got all of this insecurity within me. And so now let me build a peer group, and let me build a career or a business, and let me construct a life where literally I don't have to put myself in a situation that activates my ancient wounds. Am I totally out to lunch? Show of hand, anyone understand what I just said? Why not instead say, why do these things terrify me? And then methodically move towards personal mastery so that the things that frightened you, that you've given your power to, no longer activate you. And yes, you'll get the tools this weekend. But see, the fake power, society says, be safe and secure. Create an environment that makes you feel uncomfortable. Well, you're still this insecure little kid deep inside of you. And we're all picking it up, and your work is suffering as a result of that. And guess what? You're suffering as a result of that. Oh, no, I don't suffer. Oh, yes, you do. Maybe you've pushed down your suffering through your drug of choice so long you've numbed out to your suffering. That's why most people aren't present. They're in a trance, addicted to technology. How many of you in this room, you're addicted to doing? Doing. You always need to be doing. Doing. If you're not doing, you feel guilty. You need to be doing. Why are you doing so much? I don't know, but if I'm not doing, I will feel guilty if I'm not doing. How many of you in this room are busy being busy, but you don't know what you're busy being busy with? But you're always doing. Blaise Pascal, the French mathematician, said it well. He said, most of man's miseries are derived by his inability to sit quietly in a room with himself. But if you've swallowed the suffering, swallowed the pain of your potential that you were born into that remains unexpressed, if you've swallowed your disappointment, you're going to push it down. It's all going to be there. You're going to numb yourself out to it. You're going to forget about it. It'll all be in your subconscious. It'll be affecting your craft, your energy, your creativity, your productivity, your income, because your income never rises any higher than your self-identity and your self-perception. The only reason you're not a billionaire if you want to be a billionaire is because you don't believe you deserve to be a billionaire. And then what we do is, because of all of that stuff in there, we medicate ourselves. And one of our drugs of choice is too much doing. We're escaping ourselves. And then society calls it a badge of honor to be doing. You worked 14 hours, I worked 19 hours. You worked 19 hours, I worked 22 hours. It doesn't matter how much you work. It's not the quality. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. So safety and security is vastly overrated. I would encourage you to live dangerously, lick the razor, play out on the edges. Play out on the edges of your craft. Play out on the edges of your industry. In your personal life, total bravery, audacity. Even with compassion, be the most compassionate person in the room. Drink half the glass of wine and give the gorgeous bottle to the kitchen, like I mentioned. Do staggeringly loving things for people who won't even know about it. It's a great way to go through life. Fourth fake power, social status. Social status. Here's where I am in society. Personally, I don't really care about social. Anyone not really care about social status? To me, I don't know, but social status is really important. There's a lot of cultures where social status is really important. And then finally, material possessions. I would suggest to you, enjoy your belongings, don't need your belongings. Enjoy a Ferrari if you like a Ferrari. Figure out if you need the Ferrari. And here's a great deconstruction. Where's Avalon? Avalon, great deconstruction. If I had more money or my next level of money, what new things would I need? And you see it with a lot of billionaires. It's never enough. Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller were at a gorgeous party on Long Island, and the billionaire was the host. And everything was beautiful. The food was beautiful. The people were beautiful. And one of these authors said, "This is incredible. This billionaire's party. Wow." And the other author said, "Yes, but we have something this billionaire doesn't have." And the other author said, "What?" And he said, "Enough." You cannot put a price tag on peace of mind. You cannot put a price tag on dignity. You cannot put a price tag on authenticity. You cannot put a price tag on waking up in the morning feeling good about yourself. You cannot put a price tag being the janitor at the Johannesburg airport and waking up feeling like you are an ambassador for South Africa. I think the world is really confused in many ways. And I'm not saying don't be a billionaire, with all due respect to the 2 or 3 billionaires in this room. And I help people become billionaires. But ask yourself, is the seeking, is the grasping, is the neediness born of a wound, an emptiness, a lack of self-respect? Or is it born of, I want to be a billion because this is the lifestyle and I can do things for the people I love and I can give back to the world and it allows me to see how far I can go? That's a great reason to be a billionaire. That's a great reason to be a titan. That's a great reason to rock the house. That's a great reason to pursue being a history maker, to see what it makes of me, to bring on more of my talent, to serve more people, to challenge myself, to honor the genius within me. So here's, after 20 years of thinking about this, those are the 5 fake powers I believe a lot of people in business and the world are running their life under. And if you spend 20, it's a muscle. So if you practice that every day for 10,000 hours, thank you, Anders Ericsson, you're going to be world class at pursuing the fake powers. And you're going to do it so much, it's going to go from conscious competence, we know this, to unconscious competence and to mastery. And then eventually someone's going to say, Shama, do you know, not you, but someone's going to say, do you see what you're doing? And you're so invested in your unconsciousness that you can't even see it. Are you with me so far? Say, yes, I'm with you, just so I know you're here. Yes, say, yes, I'm getting this. Yes, I'm writing it down. You know what, Robin, thank you for reminding me of my amazingness. Hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Come on, let's do that. Everyone hold hands. I'm serious. No, I'm just kidding. So part of personal mastery is just developing acute clarity on how you're occurring in the world. Checking out, where have I been hypnotized? Where has all the media messaging, like just think about how much media messaging, all the advertising, your well-intentioned parents, your well-intentioned friends, your well-intentioned teammates, your well-intentioned society. And now we've got this incredible programming that has decoded our brains and our emotional architectures so that we think we're average, which is such a lie. There's not one. Every person in this room can be Van Gogh level at something. Every person in this room has the potential to bless, serve, and inspire tens of thousands of lives. Every person in this room can live at your own version of world class. Whether you believe it or not, whether you're going to install the right beliefs and rituals and habits is a different thing, and that depends on you. So here's what I think are the real powers. Number 1, access to your greatness. What do I mean by that? Doing the interior work required to have a glimpse of who you truly are. Through the tools, but journaling, meditation, working with coaches, being in the right social network, reading the right books, visualization, body work, energy work, character work, acumen work, mentality work. Rehypnotizing yourself to remember your true nature. Your true nature is a pirate and a giant. Your true nature is energy. Your true nature is health. Your true nature, there is a power. Anyone know what I'm talking about here? Show of hands. There is a power deep within you that so few people know. There's a difference between thinking and knowing. Thinking happens in the intellect. How many people have read hundreds of books, been to all the conferences, and you know how to be it's here. Intellectually, you go, I know how to be world class. Show of hands. How many people have done all of that and you're still stuck? Be honest. Look around the room. Why? Because the game changer is not thinking. You don't lift your craft and grow your business, your life, your income, your results, your happiness exponentially when you get it in the head. You get it when you shift from your reasoning mind into your emotions. And it goes from a thinking to a knowing. So you've read the books, and you might think that deep inside is this incredible power. You might think that deep inside is this incredible reservoir of creativity. You may think deep inside that if you do enough work, you'll be fearless. You may think deep inside that there are no extra people on the planet, and if you're here in this room, it's because there's a call on your life. You might think that you're meant to be great and that you were born into genius, but because you've picked up the programming of the world around you, you're playing at less than where you belong. It's not until you know it in your heart and you shift from thinking to knowing that your behavior starts to follow. And so this first point has taken me years of interior work, and I'm just a beginner. How many of you have gone to the deepest place within your heart, the deepest place within your mind, the deepest place within your soul, the deepest place within your talent, the deepest place within your knowing, and once you get there, you just go, I'm just scratching the surface. And so all I'm saying is the first true power, and the great philosophers have all said it, know yourself. They've all said it. The great mystics, philosophers, know yourself. Know your true nature. Know your authentic self. Know your talent. Know how do you really know how undefeatable you are? How many of you have dealt with something and you thought you would never survive, and somehow you navigated your way through the abyss? Show of hands, I'm curious. Was it your mind that got you through that? Or maybe there was something braver, bigger, deeper, wiser, stronger, more intuitive within you that got you through that. How intimate are you with that place of greatness within you? If you really knew that, you'd walk out into your industry and you would rock your craft and you would lift your game and you would be undefeatable, relentless, and unstoppable. How much time do you spend with that place of greatness? It's like a friend. Well, yeah, I visit her every 6 years. How well will you know that friend? I believe the second real power is autonomy and authenticity. Autonomy simply means you live by your own laws. That's why I started off this morning about piracy, being a pirate. Autonomy, it's a word that means you're running by your own, you're living your life and rocking your craft according to your own series of laws. What's more powerful than that? You know, Buffett, like I said, Warren Buffett, there will never be a better you than you. He also, when he goes to graduations and he gives talks to young people on graduation, he always says the same thing. Find your own measure of success. He always says that. Find your own measure of success and then have the bravery and fidelity to run your career and your life by your own measures of success. What's the point of getting to the last hour of your last day and realized you lived your mother's life or your neighbor's life or society's life? One of the greatest crimes of humanity is the crime of self-betrayal. So I think it's very powerful to be autonomous, not to be plugged into the herd, not to literally be talking, walking, working, living in a way designed to say, well, here's society's values, and I'm so needy to please people and to be liked and so scared to leave the crowd that I'm living in a certain way that betrays my fundamental nature. I think the third true power is audacity and bravery. Audacity. Audacity. That's a great word, I think. Be audacious. Be bold. And bravery. Bravery is the antidote to regret. So when you're frightened, do that thing. That opportunity you are most resisting is the opportunity you are most resisting is the opportunity you most want to be embracing. The opportunity you are most resisting is the opportunity you most want to be embracing, because there your next level of growth and power lies. Number 4, self-respect. People say, well, in my industry, if I'm honest, I'll be taken advantage of. First of all, no, you won't. Are you playing the short game? Are you playing the long game? I have seen people being dishonest. I have seen people cutting corners. I have seen people being unethical. And yes, in the short term, it looks like those people are winning. Show of hands. And here's what I've seen consistently. Chickens always come home to roost. Salmon's always whatever salmons do, or salmon does. And I'm just suggesting to you that there are 2 leagues to play in. The first is the 95%, short-term gain, short-term advantage, short-term victory. But world-class producers operate under a fundamentally different set of rules, and that's playing the long game. They are honest. They are impeccable with their word. They deliver what they promise. They are true to themselves. They speak their truth, even if the recipient doesn't like what they say, so long as they say it with respect. I mean, whatever happened to the word honor? I'm so interested in the Spartan warriors. You know, they used to say, the mothers, come back victorious or come back on a shield, but do not come home without dishonor. And that used to be our cultural belief system years ago. And what I see generally, not to generalize, but to generalize, and not to judge, but just to report, short term. We want our content in a second. We want our food in a second. If you wait 3 seconds longer at a red light, they are hitting the horn. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Right? If you're getting on an airplane and there's a delay, I mean, it's not the pilot's fault, but people get upset because there's all this pressure in them now. The person who hits the horn, it's just the pressure within them. The person who doesn't say thank, am I making sense here? The person who doesn't say thank you, the person who doesn't look you in the eye, the person who has lost their sense of humanity, it's just because they've lost their connection to their humanity. It's just the pressure within them. And because so much of the world is living like this, we think this is how you live. And I don't know how you live, but all I know is what feels right to me. And self-respect, I mean, what's more valuable than that? Would you rather be a CEO of whatever? Or a toilet cleaner who says, I like who I am, I live by my values, I take great pride in my work, I make the time to watch sunsets and sunrises, I love my loved ones, and I am who I am. Something to ask yourself, who is richer? And then the fifth real power, and I think this is a real power, is global influence. And I know you know this, otherwise you wouldn't be in the room, but you are built for global influence. And part of my job here this weekend as a laborer, carrying my lunch pail up here, metaphorically speaking, is to remind you of the call on your life to influence the world. And so I would say to you, do what you need to do to live the lifestyle you want, to have the income that you want. Do what you need to do to stroke your ego. Those are all human pursuits. Do what you need to do to take great care of your loved ones so they live the kind of life that you want. But I would encourage you, as you pursue personal mastery these next 2 days, ask yourself, what do I need to do when I go home? This is the implementation. What new things must I do? Who must I become? What rewiring must I create so that I am a global influencer? So that I'm a global influencer. So what I want you to do right now is, we're going to do a 5-minute exercise. We're actually perfect timing. We're almost, okay, actually we're on time, so good. I want you to stand up. Everyone stand up for a second here. And before you move and find a partner, I want you to think about what I call your game-changing move. What is the one new tactical behavior that you viscerally commit yourself, not from a place of reasoning in your mind, but from a place of knowing in your heart, that you will simply not betray yourself by not doing? What is the one new behavior that you commit yourself after you leave here to installing into your life, so that it becomes a new way of being, so that it becomes a new neural pathway, so that it becomes a deep new ritual? And when you feel like giving up, you will not give up. When you feel self-doubt, you will not feel self-doubt. When people ridicule you, you will persevere. You will simply be relentless around this one game-changing move. And this is a social network. Personal Mastery Academy is a mastermind. This is one of my circles. You are now part of one of my circles. Please do not discount the value of the world-class people that are in this room. And so when you stumble, you reach out to Sabine in Zurich, or you reach out to Charles in Montreal, or Patricia in Montreal, Quebec. You reach out to Peter in Hungary. You reach out to Randy in Toronto. You reach out to Sandesh in Tanzania. You see, there's tons of research showing that also one of the greatest ways to sustain change is through your social network. You want to be a marathoner? Run with marathoners. You want to be an A player? Be in the rooms with A players. And so when you leave here, you're going to stumble. And you're going to feel like giving up. And distraction will intrude. And life will get in the way. I would suggest to you over these next 2 days, find at least 3 people that you will mastermind with, so that when you stumble and feel like giving up over these next 66 days, until you wire in this new behavior to the point of automaticity, according to University College of London, that came up with this 66 days to wire in a new habit, you reach out to those people so that they support you. I do not want these 2 days or 3 days to be a waste of your time. But it's not going to be up to me to see how you get traction. It's going to be up to you. So I'm just curious, before we do the exercise, what is your game-changing move? The one behavior, ritual, or routine that if you installed it would lift up every other thing that you do. This is incredible. Total transparency in operations. Total game changer. Total. What else? Be brave, Sandesh. Shut down your inner critic. And we're going to talk about some ways to do that. And if any of you are discounting meditation, there's so much science coming out about what it does to rewire your thinking, to shut down your prefrontal cortex, to create transient hypofrontality, which shifts you from beta to alpha. We'll get into the science. Meditation is unbelievably powerful to shut down your inner critic. What else is a game-changing move? Sana. Make your heart your new brain. I'm getting more and more interested about your podcast. Continually more and more. Keep working at it. You're doing an amazing job. 5 a.m. club. Oh, what a soft tactic. And now, by the way, I've been evangelizing it for 20 years now. Morning routine, morning rituals, etc. is getting out there, which is awesome. It is not a simple idea. I'm going to walk you through this afternoon the 20-20-20 formula deconstructed so you understand the neurobiology. If you are not up at 5 a.m. and wiring it in, total game changer. Total game changer. It'll impact your creativity, your energy, your love, your income, your influence in your entire market. 5 a.m. How many people will copy your goods? People will copy your brand. People will copy your ways of being. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter what happens in society, very few people will ever install the habit of getting up at 4 a.m. Oh, 5 a.m., sorry. It is the ultimate competitive advantage. What does that do to your confidence? You know what I've realized more than ever? Confidence is what builds a world-class company. It's when you, how many of you in this room that are business builders, when you feel unstoppable, when you feel creative, when you feel you can do your vision, everyone through emotional contagion drinks the Kool-Aid. Your suppliers want to be a part of it. Your clients want to be a part of it. And your execution is incredible. So confidence, but 5 a.m., what does that do to your confidence? What does that do to your grit? What does that do to your character to be able to get up before, while the rest of the world is sleeping? You are up running your protocols. You're working out and sweating. You're doing gratitude in your journal. Oh, Robin, gratitude is soft. Read The How of Happiness and the work of Marty Seligman and Sonia Lyubomirsky. The happiest people on the planet practice what they call deliberate gratitude. And what does that do? It releases a pharmacy of mastery that makes you on fire to own your game. 5 a.m. I'm going to evangelize it later. What else would be a game-changing move? Running towards your fears. What else? Game-changing move. Yes.
Develop heart set.
David, heart set, not just mindset, heart set. Yes. Pardon me? Simplifying your life. Mess creates stress. Steve Jobs, when he went to Next, he said, I want everything white, everything pristine, because he understood that when there is mess, your attention and your focus is given to the messes. What does your house look like? What does your office look like? What does your interior life look like? You see, when I work with the billionaires, the NBA players who embrace my information, the NFL, the NHL stars, the great artists, they understand one thing. Minimalism is not just a design value for gorgeous art galleries like the Tate Modern in London. Minimalism is a way of operating through life. Messes, cleaning out, simplifying, frees up your creativity and your energy to be at world class. Here's what I want you to do. Find someone you do not know. And I want you to, this is where you get very granular. Be honest, and I want you to talk to them about where you are running your career and your life under pursuing fake powers. And then I want you to talk about what your career and life would look like if you actually started developing and accessing is a better word because they're already in you, your real powers. So I trust you got a lot out of that model, the Personal Mastery Power Grid. And here's your homework, which I want you to do as soon as you finish watching me right now. I want you to open up your journal or at least take out a blank piece of paper. And I want you to bring out the little kid in you because adults are nothing more than deteriorated children, okay? And I want you to draw a diagram or a cartoon of you living your 5 true powers. You see, because if you were to write it out, you'd be in your left brain. But by drawing it out as a cartoon, you bring out that playful child inside of you. You really unleash your creativity. You tap into your right brain thinking, which is the source of all creativity and all sparkle and magic and wonderment. And I want you to draw out this cartoon of you living the 5 powers I just walked you through. Because with better awareness, you'll be able to make better choices. With better choices, you're going to see better results. That's my 3-step success formula. With better awareness, you'll make better choices. With better choices, you're going to see better results. So when you finish this exercise, you're going to have this diagram or this drawing. You're going to have more awareness of you living your 5 true powers. With that new awareness, you can make better choices tomorrow or today. And with that new choices, you're going to see better results.